No matter how hard life can challenge you, there's always something growing. There's always something developing, and you get to choose what that is. I mean, how amazing is that?
Get Radio Breakfast with Rich Smith.
We welcome the wonderful Sara Southey from the Southey Way. Morning, Sara.
Good morning, Rich. Happy February.
Happy, oh my days. If I had £1 for everyone that said happy February to me, wow, over just, I think universally, there's not too many things universally that everyone is exactly on the same level of. And every single person I've spoken to, whether it be the neighbours yesterday at a wonderful charity event, where it be seeing a few mates at 40th birthday, the one overriding thing is everyone went, oh, thank goodness January's over. Oh my days, thank goodness. And it does feel like that, doesn't it? Even just as a whole, even just chatting to you now as well.
I seriously think that February should be the new year.
Yeah. Do you know what? It makes a lot of sense, because why do we, and I've never kind of worked this out or what have you. You've had the big kind of excesses of Christmas, and you've had like New Year and all this kind of stuff. And then you go into a January, and there's so much.
You don't just
wrong
go
with
in.
it.
You just don't go into January, though, do you? Go into January with the right New Year. We're going to push really hard. We're going to change all the things, and I'm not a fan. I like to emerge slowly into a new year, so this is perfect time for me.
I think so, and February feels like a good month as well, because it's always
it's
the
nice
shortest.
and short.
It's the shortest one. That's exactly. So that you kind of go, okay, well, if I'm not feeling it, I've got the shortest month to try and get through. I've kind of survived January by, was there 6 Mondays or something in January this year?
17, surely.
Oh, well, about 150. So loads of Mondays. Accountants we mentioned, they're loving this month. We've got just loads of things happening. It's always dark. It's always cold. There's kind of, everything's kind of like on a, But February comes and you're kind of like, well, actually, I don't mind getting out there a bit. It's a bit lighter in the evening, so I might go for a run.
Steady on, Rich.
Well, baby steps. Baby steps.
Where are the lions?
Who knows? But it feels like February should be. Let's make February the new January, shall we?
Yes.
I think that's the way to go. New year, new me, and all that kind of stuff. Happy New Year.
Start now.
Right. This was actually a little thing that Jim messaged me about. And this follows on from our conversation that we had last week. Just a little reminder for everyone who wasn't there. Mate of mine was just had a bit of a naff time in January. There's another example, and what have you. And quoted Sara and said, "Look, this too shall pass." That is literally, that's the branding right there. Southey Way, this too shall pass. It's the thing, it's underneath it. It's the strap line. And actually, Jim messaged me and said, "Oh, do you know why that meant so much to Sara?" And I was like, he was like, "Do you remember this seashell story?" And I was like, "Oh God, I haven't thought about that since literally we first started speaking many, many years ago." So I thought a nice little refresher for me and everyone else listening as well is that the seashell story, which is literally part of your branding as well.
Well, it is. That did mean a lot to me, because I'm all about an individual, and my personal purpose is helping one person. And the story goes, so my brand is a starfish. And somebody came up to me after a talk that I did and said, "I know why you wear the starfish, because normally I've got a starfish pendant on every single day." I was up a little bit late today.
What? You mean you really? Come with
Yes, we are doing we're rocking No Makeup Monday today.
Love it.
So she said, "Oh, I know why you wear a starfish." The starfish was bought for me for my kids many, many moons ago, and I've worn it pretty much every day since. So she couldn't have known that. But she said, "There's this. Do you know the story about the little boy on the beach after the storm?" I said, "No." She said, "I'll send it to you." So she did. By the time I got home, it was in my inbox. And the story goes, there's a little boy on the beach after a big storm. This beach is long, I mean, like miles long, and washed up on the beach are hundreds and hundreds of starfish. And this little boy picks one up and puts it back into the sea, and then goes back onto the beach, picks another starfish up and puts it back into the sea. And this elderly gent comes up to him and says, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm putting the starfish back in the sea." And the elderly gent goes, "But there's hundreds of them. You can't help them all." And the little boy picks up another starfish and he puts it back into the sea. And he said, "Yes, but I helped that one." And that is why my brand is a starfish.
Honestly, when Jim sent it through to me last week, and after our conversation, and I know it meant a lot to you and all that, it was just a big swell of emotion last Monday with everything, and hearing that story and reading that story again, I was like, actually, we just need a little refresher of that, because isn't that what it's all about? Because we're all going to be, we all come up against a long beach full of issues.
Washed up by a storm.
Yeah. Washed up radio DJs, right here. We've got them all. But you know, it is that, looking down that long beach, and if you're kind of looking down that long beach and thinking, my days, I'm never going to get there.
Yeah,
that's not the way to do it. Exactly, and that story puts it really succinctly and beautifully as well. I'm sure there's do you know what I mean? I'm sure there's variations of stories like that. Like you can put different scenarios, but I like that it's a starfish. I like that it's a beach. Well, I like that it links up with the necklace as well.
I then went and investigated starfish a little bit more, and there are literally thousands of varieties. So every person is an individual and cannot be treated in exactly the same way as another person because they're individual. Starfish are individual. Did you know? Interesting fact. Oh, I should have sent this in for fact of the day.
Oh, God, we only do a feature of it, We're doing 4 years.
Well, if I'd known you were going to do a feature on starfish, they can regenerate limbs.
Yeah.
I did not know this before I got it for my brand. And I thought that is so cool, because no matter how hard life can challenge you, there's always something growing. There's always something developing, and you get to choose what that is. I mean, how amazing is that?
Yeah.
Love a starfish.
Love us. There you go. That's how we end this. We love a starfish. Get yourself a starfish, everyone. That's what we need to do. You all need one. Blimey. Sarah, absolute joy and pleasure. I'm so glad you sort of retold that story. It made complete sense after last week and coming into this week to kind of refresh everyone with that story. So have a little think about the beach and the boy and the starfish this morning. Sarah, thank you ever so much. Love it as always.
I'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday. Looking forward to it already. It's brilliant stuff. It's Sarah Southey, of course, doing things the Southey way. Go and see her in the Shed of Strength and catch her, of course, all over LinkedIn, all over Instagram. Just search for Sarah Southey, doing things the Southey way. You know that by now.